Celtic drew 0-0 last night in what was overall a disappointing performance. However, there is a silver lining as we have been handed a huge boost ahead of the second leg. We will discuss this in today's video whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Brendan Rodgers didn't hold back in explaining his decision to hook Idah at half-time during Celtic's 0-0 draw with Kairat Almaty, admitting he couldn't afford to wait for the striker to grow into the game. Idah struggled to make an impact in the opening 45 minutes of the Champions League qualifier. While Celtic created little in general, the Irish forward often found himself a step behind the play and failed to bring the attacking presence Rodgers was looking for. With the tie finally poised and the crowd growing restless, the manager made a bold switch at the break. Yang Hyun-jun came on and injected instant urgency down the left flank, giving Celtic a much-needed spark. Dyson Maeda, who had been operating out wide, was shifted into the striker role, a position he thrived in last season after Kyogo left. The change gave the side more direct running and should have seen energy through the middle. Rodgers gave a frank assessment of Idah's performance post-match. Yeah, there's no rocket science in it. It's all hard work. It's all preparation. That will obviously lead to confidence, and then you normally succeed then as a player from that. So yeah, I didn't quite go for him first half. I wanted a little bit more activity in and around the box because I felt that we could get up there. And Adam's a good boy. He's an honest boy. Hasn't quite started how he would have liked. But in games like these here, I can't afford to wait. And that's why I made the change at half-time. Celtic didn't find the breakthrough, but the second half improvement was clear. Yang looked lively on the left, but Maeda just didn't step up. With just over a week left in the window and calls growing louder for a new striker, Idah's stuttering start to the season will only sharpen scrutiny on Celtic's forward options as the return leg in Kazakhstan looms. Now for the main story, Kairat Almaty will be without one of their standout performers for the second leg of their Champions League playoff against Celtic, with teenage forward Dastan Satpayev ruled out through suspension. The 17-year-old striker, who has already agreed a move to Chelsea when he turns 18 next summer, picked up a late booking in the 90-plus 11th minute of the first leg stalemate at Celtic Park. Satpayev was a constant threat in Glasgow, creating more chances than any other player on the pitch. He led the line with confidence beyond his years, linking play well and offering a real outlet on the break as Kairat carried out their disciplined game plan. His absence is a significant blow for the Kazakh side, who will now have to reshuffle their attack as they look to complete the job in Almaty. The youngster's suspension removes a major creative outlet and perhaps a touch of the unpredictability that Celtic struggled to deal with at times in the first leg. It's a small boost for Celtic ahead of what will still be a hugely testing second leg over 3,500 miles from home. The pressure remains firmly on Brendan Rodgers' side to deliver a result, but Satpayev's suspension removes a key weapon from Kairat's arsenal at a critical time. In other news, Jullien was among those tuning in to watch Celtic's goalless draw with Kairat Almaty, and you couldn't help but think the big Frenchman might have made a difference on a night where Celtic lacked presence in both boxes. Posting on his Instagram story, he let everyone know he still kept up with the boys. A towering figure during his time at Parkhead, Jullien's European highlight reel includes crucial headers from set pieces, none more memorable than his winner against Lazio back in 2019. With Celtic struggling to make anything count from a string of corners last night, one of those trademark thumping headers wouldn't have gone amiss. Now plying his trade with Montpellier in League Two, Jullien remains an interested observer of his old club. And while his Celtic days are behind him, the sort of aerial threat and physical presence he offered continues to be missed, especially in tight European affairs like the one at Celtic Park. Brendan Rodgers' side lacked a focal point from corners and failed to make their physical advantage count in a game crying out for someone to take command in the air. Celtic forced several dead ball opportunities but looked blunt without a natural target man or dominant centre half attacking the deliveries. Liam Scales came closest from a corner, but his attempts went well over the bar, wide or comfortably into the keeper's gloves. In other news, James McFadden believes Celtic supporters' worst fears have been realised after a flat 0-0 draw with Kairat Almaty left the club's Champions League hopes hanging by a thread. The former Scotland international spoke after Brendan Rodgers' side failed to break down their Kazakh opponents at Celtic Park, resulting in a chorus of "sack the board" chants from frustrated fans. For McFadden, the result was the outcome many had seen coming. The Celtic fans had a fear that this was coming, and a fear that Celtic board were waiting to see whether they were going to be in the Champions League or not, he said on BBC Sport. And for me, they should always be doing their business to make sure they've got the players in, to get their team ready so that they can go and win this game and they don't need to speculate whether they're going to be in the Champions League or not. So there's a lot of work still to be done for Celtic on the pitch and off the pitch. The board's apparent reluctance to fully back the manager before such a crucial qualifying tie has come under intense scrutiny. Despite holding a financial advantage few Scottish clubs can match, Celtic entered the match with key gaps in their squad still unfilled. The lack of a proven striker, natural width, and now a fit right back after Alistair Johnston's injury have left the team short-handed when it matters most. A left back is needed before the window slams shut in under 2 weeks. With the second leg in Almaty looming and the derby against Rangers just days later, Celtic's margin for error is vanishing fast. What should have been a confident step toward the league stage now feels like a warning the club failed to heed. It's a massive game for Celtic next week, who must win in hot temperatures, a 5-hour time difference, and a 10 to 12-hour travel time just to get there. Lastly, Brendan Rodgers has confirmed that Alistair Johnston could be facing a spell on the sidelines after suffering what appears to be a hamstring injury during Celtic's 0-0 draw with Kairat Almaty in the Champions League qualifiers. The right back was forced off on a stretcher in the first half after going down off the ball, clutching his right leg while tracking back as Almaty countered. Johnston received treatment for several minutes before it became clear he could not continue, with his withdrawal adding to an already frustrating night at Celtic Park. Speaking after the match, Rodgers told reporters, "Yeah, I haven't spoken to the medical guys yet. It looks like a hamstring injury, which is disappointing. But yeah, I'll get more in the morning. It's a blow that could force Celtic's hand in the final stretch of the transfer window. With just over a week remaining to do business, the squad's need for reinforcements is becoming increasingly urgent. Celtic are already in the market for wide players and a striker, but should Johnston's injury prove serious, a move for another right-back may now have to be added to the list. Johnston had only recently returned to full fitness and was beginning to re-establish himself in the side. His potential absence, especially during such a critical run of fixtures, including the return leg in Almaty and the upcoming Glasgow derby, leaves Rodgers with a further headache. It's really no surprise to see him go down with an injury. The amount of football he's played in the last couple of years is insane. What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comments section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.